Dreaming of the classic Hollywood glamour in your everyday loungewear? I invite you to join me as I recreate that magic with a stunning 1950s inspired house robe made from a vintage sewing pattern. The pattern I'm using is this one from the Vintage Sewing Pattern Company, which is a great pattern, not only because it's quite straightforward to make, but also because it's very versatile. With the same pattern, you can make a coat, you can make a dress, and you can also make a robe like the one I made. So let's dive into the sewing process, shall we? Let's start cutting the pattern with these huge pattern pieces on the floor because they don't fit anywhere else. I'm connecting the back pieces and that's fairly easy, and you can see how long this is, and here is a tail. I'm adding fusible interfacing at the front pieces. I should have added it to the front facing actually. I connected the seams at the shoulder, the neck and the side, just leaving a gap between the 2 points for the pockets. And here you can see the back neck edges of the front piece that are connected with the actual back neck piece. It's a little bit confusing, I know. And I'm preparing the front facing by connecting it at the back, reinforcing the edges and clipping in between. I'm connecting the back neck facing to the front facing between the oops, my cat just bumped into my camera. Between the two reinforced edges, and here you can see how it looks after it's sewn. And then sewing the edges after their reinforced corners, so I can complete the connection of the front facing to the back neck facing. And here you can see how it turned out. I think it looks really nice, very smooth. I'm preparing the pockets to be sewn by attaching one side to the robe side seams, and then I will be sewing all around. So here are the pockets sewn all around, and with the raw edges finished with just a zigzag stitch. And here you can see how it looks. It just needs a good press. Here you can see the progress we've done so far. Most of it is actually done. We just need to add the front facing, and we need to finish the sleeves and to hem. But also I want to add a lining, which is actually not in the pattern, so I'll have to make it up myself. So I did cut a lining piece. It was basically very similar to the actual robe, and now I'm basically sewing right sides together, the lining with the robe, connecting at the edges. You can see how it looks here after it's all sewn. And the only difficult part which I left and didn't sew was the back neck, because maybe I should have cut a back neck facing as well for the lining, which I didn't. Oh, I'm not sure how it was supposed to be, but that's how I did it, and it actually worked at the end. Here I am sewing this difficult part. It just needed a bit of finagling, if that's the word, to be able to fit the two pieces together. The lining is all finished, and I think it looks pretty nice, if I say so myself. And I love the color of the lining. I think it goes very well with the color of the robe, and it's quite shiny as well. So yeah, here it is at the back, and this is the back neck, which I think worked out at the end. I found some decorative pieces that were left from another project, so I decided to add them, and I'm really glad I did because they look really pretty at the, what do you call that, collar? No, I think it's called, oh, what's the word? I can't find it right now. Lapels, yes, that's the right word. And I prepared the hem by giving it a good press. I'm really glad this fabric irons really well and stays, so it helped me sew the hem, and I had to hand sew the lining all around. It only took me 2 episodes of Dynasty, the old one, the 80's Dynasty, which was quite fun. The sleeves were a bit short, so I decided to add cuffs, and I'm really sorry I forgot to film the whole process. Here's my really ugly hand sewing, connecting the lining to the cuffs, but I think on the outside looks really nice, and that's what we care about. No one's gonna see the inside of it, just me, so I don't really care. And I'm making belt carriers. I'm just winging it. There are directions, but who follows directions? Not me. And yeah, Chico is finding the belt carriers really interesting and nice to play with. And here are the belt carriers, all finished and sewn on the robe side seams. And that completes the actual construction of the robe. Now make sure to hit that subscribe button and to turn on notifications, because I've got many more delightful vintage inspired DIYs and fashion tips coming your way. Thanks for joining me on this journey today. Until next time, stay fabulous!